You can see the green also, I think. You know, it's visible, no? Okay. Padma asked me a question. So she asked the question, where does this thing come from? The Nar or the word Narayan. Nar or Narayan means what we are doing just now, Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Okay? So it comes from the word Na. The base word is Na. Na is Nad Brahma. Nad Brahma is the sound, unheard sound. Anhata, unheard sound. Comes from the word Nad Brahma. Okay? This Nad Brahma means the waves which are emanating from Brahma. Alright? The waves, they are basically a sound, like they say, no? The sound is the one which started first. So sound is what is coming out of this. So that is the reason why it is Nada Brahma. Now the word Na comes from here. Hata means is there, means not there. Means not there. Okay, Hata means is there. What happened to this Samrat? Samrat said, Guruji, and then what happened? You, Are? So, you are getting it? The word comes from not, Hata there. This sound which is unheard of, unheard sound. Okay, he is saying he's on my new laptop. So, right. Guru is also there. Okay. Guru, where is Guru in my this thing? Okay, it's not there. So, Anhata comes from there. Hmm? So, from Na, which is the base letter, comes three entities. One is called Narayan, one is called Nar. You have heard of these two, isn't it? Nar and Narayan. And the third one is called Narada. Na. See, everywhere the Na word is there. So you will find that the letter Narada also comes from the same base word as Na. Now what happens is, this is called the super soul. Nar is the man or the created being. Okay? And Narada is the one who is the guru. So Narada teaches Nar how to reach Narayan. Okay? That means what? This person has to be praised. Good afternoon, Guru. So Narayan has to be praised. So Nar is taught by Narada how to praise Narayan. You will always find he keeps on saying the word Narayan, Narayan, isn't it? So, yeah, he invokes what is called as a bhakti. Alright, so this much is understood. I just explained how the word Na came into picture. Na is extension of Anahata. Na means from the word Na the Brahma. Alright? Good afternoon, Samrat. Finally, you are able to load. Okay, good for you. So Na the Brahma. Na is the middle of Anahata. Not and there. Sound not there, sort of. Unheard of sound. The Na is the base letter of the word Nar, Narayana and Narada. So at the beginning of time, these two, he got created. And then he is the one who is showing how to reach. Then I was saying the second part of it. Can I rub this? Alright. The unheard sound. The unheard sound is always heard in a place called the heart. Isn't it? We call it the heart chakra or the heart. This is here. So we say it is the heart. Correct? Now where is the heart? A heart is not the physical heart that we are talking about. This is the chakra, basically a domain. Alright? And it is found in the central region below the throat. So, where normally it can be found? It can be found on the right hand side of the body, over here. It can be found on the left hand side of the body, over here. It can be found over here on top, which is behind the left shoulder, below the left shoulder. So, or it is displaced slightly towards the bottom, just below the heart, or it is over here, which is your liver, I think, is it? Heart in the liver. Imagine funny thing will happen then. Over here. Now, why this? In every person, it is differently located. The reason being, this domain is of knowledge. This is a domain of knowledge, this side. This side. This side is a domain of bhakti. Alright, on this side. It's basically purely this side is purely on the material plane and this is on the esoteric plane. Okay? These are two domains. Now what happens is, it sometimes is coming on top over here. The top is the head. The head, this is the center. Okay, here it is more on the Brahma level. Brahma. Okay, here it is more on the Kama level. So, depending on the displacement of the chakras sometimes get displaced because of our tendencies. We come from certain domains. So, dominic tendencies, you will find it is always there. So, if you read the book by Ramana Maharshi, how many of you have read the books by Ramana Maharshi? I'm sure some of you have read them. Okay, you will always क्या है चार लग गया नहीं सर तीन तीन हाँ 20 rupees दे 20 rupees दे अच्छा ठीक है तो मैडम को बिल दे देना दे दे हाँ so Ramana Maharshi you have heard of. If you ever go to Ramana Maharshi's writings, you will find that he always talks of over here. The chakra of Ramana was always on the right hand side of his center of the body. Right hand side. Okay. If you ever read the teachings of Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he will always tell you it's on the left hand side of the body.
That is why different gurus explain.
Yeah. So this is Ramana and this is Ramakrishna. Alright. So you will find the differentiation is always there. Again, there are various munis, rishi munis. They will talk of displacement into the solar plexus. Some people will tell you it is displaced downwards slightly. Okay? these people, those who are displacement is over there, they are more of the working type, work, oriented in work. Okay, that is karma, yogi. The karma yogis are based more on that.
Where was Jesus?
Hmm? Jesus was centered. Jesus is centered. And you will find that this karma yogi part, most of the people who are there who are what do you call that, Babaji and all those people from the Hatha Yoga and the Kriya yogis and all, it will be slightly below. See, it's over here center, it will be slightly lower. Here, below slightly.
So center meaning it encompasses everything.
No, it doesn't mean that. Center बोलेगा तो it's never actually in the center. Alright, it will be very slight displacement. This place, the shoulder place, okay,
Left shoulder.
left shoulder top is a domain of the Great Britain.
Oh, okay.
The domain of the Goloka. It is said that it is just above the towards the left hand side, but it is dominated by head. Okay, please understand, it is a head domination. That means more what do we call it as spiritual. This is more spiritual increment over there. Alright, that's how it is. So if anybody asks you the question कि तुम्हारा अनहता चक्र किधर है, you can say wherever you want to, does not matter. Only remember that everybody will keep on pointing to different directions, does not matter. You don't get confused by it, because the moment they say ना कि हमारे इसमें इधर है, हमारे इसमें उधर है, चलो ठीक है, इधर है उधर है.
Guruji, is it possible to locate it for a person?
Yes, if you want to.
I think it's the instruments.
No, it is possible to locate it. I'll tell you how location can be done. There is either, ants are there.
Yeah.
There is an ant crawling. I know the picture is very small, but you can see. An ant crawling.
We can take an antidote.
Okay. Other one is a butterfly. Butterfly. It's a butterfly like a sensation, as if something is doing like that.
Or pinpricks.
Yeah. But first it's an ant crawling, as if something is crawling. Imagine those big ants are there, black color fellows. Sometimes you should try that. You can put them on your hand and see whether they are crawling or not.
Or biting.
They bite also. Be careful. So one is an ant crawling, other one is like a butterfly type of a movement. Third one is round. Somebody is digging inside you. As if putting one thing and drilling machine. Somebody is drilling inside. Have you ever used a drilling machine? Then you will know the feeling how it is going inside. As if it's like that. Okay.
Casting ripples.
No. It's going inwards. This is an inward point. It's going inwards. Sometimes it is like this. That is what is called as if like a fountain, fountain. As in fountain, how the fountain like that it throws out water. Sometimes it is like that. Sometimes you will find that this is pretty dangerous, the one which I am going to tell you about. But it happens in very high yogis. It is as if there is a snake climbing up with the head up, like this, it's moving upwards. It's pretty dangerous when you not be able to experience it. So Samrat, if you find somebody like that, बोला ऐसा कर रहा है, तो समझ आप देखा कि वाइफ दिखता नहीं है, कोई तो भी दूसरा कर रहा है तो समझ जाने का समझे?
So
हाँ
मतलब उस at the point of where their anahata chakra lies, so they will be able to experience these kind of things
no, this
in
is the
that location.
what I explained just now is called the movement of Kundalini. The movement of what we say as the Kundalini. Now I'll open the black fellow so that you can see it properly.
Access you get.
Yeah. What is
You're
that?
under any places or
You said something. 1 second. I'll just throw these things out before it goes and buggers up my. I just open this so that people can't see. Okay. You are saying.
suppose there's a class kind of which just holds you, restricts your movement.
Huh.
Is that also
See what happens if suppose I take one thumbtack, thumbtack. In schools and all we have put no thumbtacks and notice board. Those things will be put no,
yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
pins.
Yeah.
So just imagine there is a thumbtack from inside your body, somebody is pinning you like this. They're pushing you literally over there. And you go like this, as if somebody has pinned you to the wall. So pinning happens. Pin. You get pinned to the wall. N-N-E-D. Pinned to the wall. To the seat, wherever you are, you get pinned to the seat as if. Okay. Most of the normal human beings, their Kundalini can rise only up to the heart and just up to here this level. Okay, it's extremely difficult for it to rise above the normal human being. What happens is, before a person, when it rises, it can go up to the heart, and then for it to rise above, there is basically a choking sensation. Choking, as if somebody is garroting you or something like that. So the throat chakras is extremely tough, as if somebody is doing like this. You just imagine somebody put one talwar over here and pushed it right inside. It is, and again inside is all dry, full dry. It becomes as if parched is na, pani pine ka. So you will find that these people whose throat chakra gets activated, they want water. They'll ask for water, but water is of no use to them. You will find that Ramakrishna ji always, when he used to go in that samadhi state, he'll say, "Give me water." So this portion of the body becomes like that. It's over here at the back. So it becomes like that. And the person wants to speak about God, but is restrained from speaking. Restrained from speaking for a very long time. So sometimes he keeps on saying, something like that. He'll just some words will try to come out from his mouth, but difficult. Later on, when he reaches higher levels, and then he comes down, he is able to talk. So this person in the throat will be speaks, sings, or does humming, all of that. Then the eyes. This person does not speak, no speaking. eyes are completely lost, zombie like. He is completely like a zombie, glassy eyes, or as if the eyes are gone completely zero. Hmm? So this person cannot speak at all. He has no words coming from his mouth. So this is a difficult part. And then from here to go up, that is this Sahasrahar. It's the next step is it is bound by your willingness to go or not to go. So you can go or you can refuse to go. That is allowed. In the domain of the eyes and the throat, the bodhisattvas live. The bodhisattva you have heard of, isn't it? The term bodhisattva. So they live in this domain. The arhats live in the heart. So the arhats, though they have begun their journeys, they will always be at this level. Okay? Enough of this, no? Samrat, bas ho gaya na?
Guruji, what about the people who are bhaktas like Bhakta Kumbara or Mirabai? Even for them, they will be experiencing the same kind of.
No, I just explained, you joined late. They are basically the left hand side or the right hand side of the heart. So, if Vito has recorded this, then you can go back and have a look because it's the 10 minutes this thing about it. Alright? So it
Okay.
is on the left of the heart. Left of the heart. Okay. These people are always that side. Okay.
तो भक्ति मार्ग में जो रहते हैं उनका लेफ्ट में रहता है क्या?
Left of the heart. ठीक है? So can we go ahead? Where were we yesterday? 13, no? 13 and 11, I think.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Alright, so we are going to do chapter 13, verse 12 onwards. Alright, unless and until anybody has a question, any more questions? No? We'll take up later on then. I shall speak to you at length about that which ought to be known, and knowing which one attains supreme bliss. That supreme Brahma, who is the Lord of the beginningless entities, is said to be neither Sat nor Asat. We began our discourse today in this only. If you see, we actually started it from this. So for my friend Samrat, we will again do it. See, you are lucky, man. They are telling us a privilege you got. Wow. So, Brahma. Brahma is unmanifest. Isn't it? The Brahma is unmanifest. From the unmanifest, this is Purusha. Then comes Prakriti. Prakriti has its own seeds. Okay. So what happens is over here, I was explaining in the way how this began. In the way here, Prakriti creates three domains like this. One is called Narayan. Narayan is called the soul or super soul. Okay. Nar is a being, which can be a human being or an animal or whatever. And then the third one is called Narada. Alright. Now he says, I shall speak to you at length about that which ought to be known, and knowing which one attains supreme bliss. If you know this, how this happens, you can attain the supreme bliss by just having the knowledge. The supreme Brahma, who is the Lord, the beginningless entity, he is from the beginningless, unmanifest. Okay? He is said to be neither Sat nor Asat. Both is not there. This is a being, isn't it? On one side we are talking about being, and on the other side we are talking about non-being. The na, it comes from the base word na. Okay? So starting from anahata, the word na. These three letters come from Narayan, Nar and Narada come from the word na, which is the unheard sound. Now, the part A is called not, N-O-T, not. And this is there. It is there. Yes, it is there. Hata means there. Okay. A means not there. Hata is there. Both these things are there. So when anahata, so is there or not there? How do you know? So don't know about it. The anahata is unheard sound. From the base word this comes these three entities. Okay. One is you, one is the soul, and one is a teacher. The Narada tells the Nar how to reach Narayan. Alright? Basically, this is how it works. It has hands and feet on all sides. It has hands and feet on all sides, eyes, head and mouth in all directions, and ear all around, for it stands pervading in all the universe. So this creation of Prakriti is like this. It has got hands, legs and everything on all sides. That means it is as if it is a living entity. A living entity, as if it is living. So that is the reason why I said it's a being. It comes into effect. It is there, it is there. So how it is there? It has got, as if it has got hands, legs, eyes, ears, nose, feet everywhere. And it is pervading everywhere. As if it is in everything. Though perceiving all sense objects, it is really speaking devoid of all senses. This being, though being created, okay, from the Prakriti, from this Brahma, the one which has come from here, it is devoid of any knowledge, because how is it speaking, how is it saying, nobody understands. Now think about it like this. Now I am going to give an example. Don't mess up the example as if this is the truth. I'm telling you, it's an example. Think about it. When you are, have you ever, has your mother ever told you are singing songs when you are sleeping? Or you are saying Jana Gana Mana or something like that? Some funny thing you are doing when you are sleeping. That state is exactly like that. You don't even know you are doing it. So even when mommy wakes you up and say, hey, what are you doing? What are you saying? बोला ABCD बोल रहा था. ABCD और स्कूल में बोलो, इधर क्या है? So you don't even have the idea. The basic idea is not there. Though everything, it has got legs, eyes, ears, nose, everything, yet the idea that there is some doership doesn't exist in that. So though perceiving all sense objects, he is really speaking devoid of all senses. Nay, though unattached, it is a sustainer of all nonetheless, and though attributeless, it is the enjoyer of the gunas, the three modes of Prakriti. So these Prakritis, three modes are there. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, three modes are there, no? What should I tell you again? This, with the help of Maya, creates Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Okay, it uses this. And all the, remember when we were doing the Tattva board, it uses the senses. And just before this we had done the senses, and then it has the sensory organs, and then it is using the, क्या कौन सा जो action, karma indriya, then it is using the mind, then it is using the ego, intellect, and so on and so forth. This is Prakriti's domain under my, it is creating all these things. So he is saying, nay, though unattached, it is a sustainer of all nonetheless. This is the one who is sustaining this whole thing in this being. And though attributeless, it is the enjoyer of gunas, the three modes of practice. It exists within and without. It is there inside and outside. There always. Okay. Now I'll just rub this out.
So he's talking about that Supreme Brahma.
Yeah. It is split up. No, now. See, for the sake of creation, for the Kshetra, now if I take this all, it is creating two entities. One which is going to experience, and the one which is experienced, and then it is experienced. The D over here, there is no D over here, there is R over here. These are the three things. So that means, does it not mean that everything is in one alone? Yet, it is just a split up because of mind. Okay? Just because we get an experience. Let me give you an example. Now you go to a temple or a church or a sage or a saint or the guru, whoever. What happens is, when you go over there to that person or the place, nothing is happening. You just go and come. ऐसा गया ऐसा आया, कुछ हुआ नहीं. If nothing happens, then do you think that your faith will drive you again to that place?
Why did you go there?
You won't go only. Right? So what happens is, when you get an experience, the experience has to happen. So they say the proof of the pudding has to be there. The pudding khaya, aisa. So you need an experience. But to need an experience, you need three things. Something that is experienced. What did you experience over there? Some sort of a feeling, some sort of an ecstasy, some sort of a understanding. Something dawned on you, ting करके यहाँ पे बत्ती जला. And then who? किसके साथ हुआ? तुम्हारे साथ हुआ. Correct है? It happened to you. Now, you are the one who is going through the experience, and you can say, I experienced it. All these three things are there, yes or no? Only when the cycle is complete can you say that there is something over there. That is the reason why when we go to this temple or churches, you sometimes feel that you get horripilations, or you cry for no rhyme or reason, or you feel some very strange aura or some sort of a feeling, or you go in a deep state of samadhi, or something very strange occurs over there. Now tell me something, do you think all these things that I spoke of is in the material domain? No, it is nowhere in the material domain. It is as if something is happening. But how can you say it is in the material? There is no way of knowing it. So, this happens without the mind.
So then is it possible to recollect? If you recollect, then it is.
No, recollection is nothing but memory, which is with the intellect. So don't worry about the intellect and mind. Mind is only a place where the whole thing occurs. That is, it's like a cauldron. It's like a place where it is gathering information. But memory, remember, memory and intellect, that which is doing the reasoning for you, is a separate domain. Don't mix it up with the mind. And that is the reason why you will find that you recollect something even though you were not awake, even though you did not know about it. And so you say, Arey, I know this place, I have come to this place before.
Familiarity.
Okay. So this knowledge is not from this domain, it is from somewhere else. The moment you put your mind in it, then it is going to be very earthly and very materialistic. But this knowledge which is stored in you may have come from your previous lives, may have come from your previous experiences. Only those which are very spiritual in nature never use the mind. They happen to you, and later on, if you think about it, because recollection will happen, recollection will happen, and you will say, "Oh my God, I started crying. Why did I cry?" Who is asking you, "Why did I cry?" Your mind is asking you. You got it? Your mind is asking you stupid question. Why did you cry over there? Did something happened or what? Somebody put chili powder in your eyes that you started crying or what?
So the overwhelming happens in the mind.
No. The overwhelming effect happens into the
Intellect.
higher intellect.
Can we say heart? No?
It is basically there also. It is the higher intellect, and then we have the lower intellect which is used for all our material worldly stuff. The lower intellect is what makes us, go to the bazaar, buy vegetables, buy a car, buy a house, get married. All those lower intellect is required. We don't require higher intellect over there at all, because this noise of the mind is too much over there. Because the noise of the mind is too much, so you can't hear the sound coming from the higher intellect. It's telling you, "Mat kar, mat kar, mat kar." Fir bhi aadmi karta hai. So you understand this is how it works.
So the experience happens in higher intellect.
The experience, this is without the mind. It will always happen over here. Memory of this is indelible memory. This memory is going on for your future lives as well. So let me give you an example how it happens. Now, let us say, for example, in your previous life, you had met some very great sage or saint or somebody like that. And that saint dies, takes a rebirth. You also come in the next life. Immediate affinity is towards that person without your understanding. The moment you see the person, you will feel some very strong pull is there. Why, you don't know. And that person is also searching for you. He's a saint, you remember this. So he is actually looking out for you, and he will come and tell you, "Acha beta, kaise ho? Theek hai na? आ जाओ मेरे पास." And then you will wonder, as if, how does he know who I am? Of course he knows who you are, and you also know who he is. And that memory, this memory is in this higher intellect only. So it is staying over there. It is an accumulation over a period of lives. This memory is not available to us in this life. Available means, you see, if you for your regular memory, you can go and tap into it. No? You can tap into it. Only when you reach the state of the realization can you, this whole thing becomes visible to you. Only when you reach the state of realization, this whole visibility comes into the picture. So now realization means you have become that guru or that master or somebody like that. So naturally when you meet people from your domain, you will say, "Kaise ho? Theek hai na? Aate ho kya mere saath? Aati ka kandala," like that. They will keep on singing to you. Enticing you, pulling you towards you, pulling you, as if suction. They pull you towards you, and that is because their memory is open. But for normal life, it is closed. So no idea of knowing also.
The universal wish.
Yeah, they have the overall vision because they have become this. They have come in this. So understood. See, I have taken you through another route to that place, but I guess you got your understanding over here. Alright. It exists within and without all beings and constitutes the animate and the inanimate creation as well. And by reason of its subtlety, it is incomprehensible, it is close at hand and stands too far. Now this is what he is describing over here. What is he describing? Just the combination of these two. Alright? It creates one which is, I told you, the soul, or what we call as, and one is the animate object, that is being, human beings and all that. So naturally it is there. This soul is everywhere. This is what we always, in all our books it will be saying, it is inside, it is outside, it is here, it is there. So that's what he is describing. It exists without and within and constitutes the animate and the inanimate. See, being, that's why I wrote being. Constitutes, that means what kind of beings are there? Animate beings and inanimate. Both type of beings are there. So it is constituting both. But by reasons of its subtlety, this is very subtle in nature, cannot be understood. As if it is there, not there also, you can't make out. And because it is not there, not there, we don't know. So it is very subtle. Subtle means you require the eyes, ears and all the sense organs to understand, to grasp it. But if you don't grasp it, how do you know?
Not grasp.
Yes. It's close at hand and stands apart. Though integral like space in its undivided aspect, it appears divided as if it were an animate and inanimate being. If you recollect, I had said this, there are so many beings. The white object over there, everything is white. In that the black rounds are drawn. Can I say that the white is inside, outside it? Correct? So the white is what we call as the soul, or the Paramatma, or soul, or Jivatma, whatever you want to call it. Let us say Paramatma, or God. Whatever you want to call it, you can call it. So it is pervading in and out also. These are animate as well as inanimate objects. They can be animate, they can be inanimate. And because this white is pervading everything, so he is describing that. It appears divided as if it were, I told you, if this is like a bottle, it is thinking that it is separate. Because of the bottle, the body, we think that we are cut out like that. It's like a cutout from, like a big jigsaw puzzle, in that the squares are there. So one square I remove, what happens? So it thinks, because of me the whole jigsaw puzzle is there. Have you seen that? If you have a big jigsaw puzzle, you remove one piece from it and that piece will feel very important. Why will it feel important? It will say, if I am not there, the whole thing is not complete. See?
Can't be done in place.
Yes. Otherwise everything will, that is called ahankara.
That's what we should know is where nobody is in distance.
Yeah. Though integral like space in and okay. And that Godhead which is only object worth knowing is the sustainer of all being, Vishnu, the destroyer and the creator of all is Brahma. Today in the morning we were discussing about this, Brito. So that's our topic has come over here. So let us see. Alright, I'll describe to you something which is, how does this happen? First, there is a creator, sustainer, and then destroyer. Today we are celebrating him, isn't it? Today we are celebrating him. Think about it. Are we supposed to celebrate him? एक बार पैदा हुआ, पैदा करने वाले के बाद कौन पूछता है उसको? Oh, Brahmaji is never thought of by anybody. Once you are born, who cares? Like that. So this person is never thought of as very, very important person. What happens is, the moment you are born, you are dying.
Okay, you're born, you're dying.
The moment you are born, you are dying. Yeah. And this is the funny part, nobody understands this. We think, I am becoming, I have become 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old. ऐसा करके हम लोग बोलते हैं. It is like this. Like I explained in the morning, there are two processes. One is called oxidation and the other one is called reduction. And these are the two processes which happen in the world. One is oxidation and one is reduction. Now suppose if I have an iron rod. The iron rod, what happens to it? It is pure iron. After keeping it in the sun for some time, because of water and all those things, it starts becoming ferrous and ferric oxide. So we call it as rusted. Correct? Now what has happened to it? Oxidized, we call it. Even silver gets black. No? So we say it is oxide, silver oxide. So this is the process that is happening. Deterioration, we call it deterioration. From the original, it has started deteriorating. Once we want to get it back again, we have to again redo the whole process to get it back. Now tell me something. I want you to think very carefully and tell me. Have you ever given gold for polishing? You must have given gold, gold, old mothers or grandmothers, some kangan and this and that. People have these. These are heirlooms. So what they do now, they give it for gold polish and put it, give it to the goldsmith, and they say, isko acha karke clean karke do. What that fellow does, he just dips it in tannic acid. Okay. It's a very powerful acid. He dips it in tannic acid, cleans it, okay, with a nice cloth and all, and there's a certain process that he uses and then gives it to you. Now think about it. If the weight of the gold is 12 grams, okay, 12.450 grams, okay, how much will it be after I do the process?
11 grams.
Naturally, it will be less, that, because what has happened is the moment he is dipped it, he is removing the top layer of it. When you remove the top layer of it, naturally, the weight is going to be slightly lesser than previous.
Exfoliating.
So what they do, once upon a time I was working with a company which is making these photographic products, photo printing. And those machines are there, the big machines that are there. All these Kodak and other companies have the big machines for printing. So I used to wonder why my boss is selling the used fluid, he is selling at a very high rate. And this was never there in the books anywhere. He would say it is sold as scrap. There was this liquid which was used for washing films. Okay. So he was selling at it is shown as scrap. Then I wonder what you know why?
Silver. That's silver.
Yes, it was silver iodide. AgI, silver iodide.
Silver iodide, yeah.
Yes, it contained a very large quantity of silver. So they used to take it for silver extraction. So out of some 10,000 liters or something like that of this liquid, he would get at least some few kgs of silver from that. Yes, and the person would think कि उसमें से कुछ भी नहीं आता है. It's a used liquid. फेंक दो उसको. समझ में आया? हाँ. देखो कल से बिजनेस के बारे में बहुत बोल रहा हूँ मैं. कल बिजनेस ऐसा चालू करोगे तो अपना फाउंडेशन पैसा चलेगा. क्या बोला? कमीशन. So now you understand how this thing used to be done. So you will find that the body is rusting, is deteriorating by the day. So it is always leaning towards destruction. It's always going towards destruction. It is not But meanwhile, we have to sustain. So the sustainer has importance till it is getting destroyed.
That's what we call life.
Now think about it. Who is more important? The one who is created, the one who is sustained, or the one who is destroyed? Sustained.
Sustainer.
The one who is a destroyer has got more importance because he is rejuvenating. He is again making new.
You can be created.
So only when the destruction happens can the new be created. Now think about it. If in a sustainer, okay, all right, you get a wart or a mole, additional appendage in your body, you are going to get into trouble, sir. As if something is coming out, you know. Have you seen old people? If you look into my body now, you will find lot of those moles and
Old people.
yeah. Oh, आ गया इधर उधर extra body part. So it is a disease. But otherwise, sustainer's job is only to maintain. Is only to maintain. But the destroyer is the one who destroys and creates the new one. Only when Shiva comes into play, when the destruction happens, can the new construction happen. Right?
Perfect Celibate.
So you will find that today is his day, Shivratri, Mahashivratri. Correct? And Mahashivratri, today's day is very important because you will find that movement. Now remember, over here the movement was towards destruction. But when you are here, it is a movement towards.
Correct.
So Shiva has got much more importance in this domain. You will find Shiva is praised because of what he is actually doing. So in our body, you will find the destruction of the material happens continuously. All cells are getting destroyed on a continuous rate. If destruction doesn't happen, where will the new cells come into the play?
So even if you want to destroy your desires in Shiva,
And yes, you can do that. Shiva is a person who has ash on his body.
discrimination.
This ash will remove everything. That is why you will find all these yogis and all. They go to these burial grounds and they sit over there and they smear the ash and stuff like that. You will find all these babas over there. It is after the destruction only the new life will come into play. And today's day we have to praise Shiva for what he is actually doing for us. Think about it. Shiva's domain is supposed to be in the head, isn't it? We started with the Kundalini, isn't it? His domain is to be there in the head. Now I want you to think very carefully. Can it be anywhere else?
Yes.
You will find that Shiva's domain is everywhere. You see, in the liver, there is a destruction of the cells happening.
Constant.
The breakdown of your red blood corpuscles and all is happening or no? If liver doesn't function, you know you are going to get into big trouble. Same way, even to the end of your body, the destruction element is at play. Now, if liver stops functioning, no, you are dead, by the way. So better it functions properly. So Shiva's domain is right from top to toe. So you will find that this is one God who can enter right from the head to the tip of your feet also. And you know he is the God of
Destruction.
the demons and all those, asuras and everything.
The god of the Daityas.
Yes, he is the God of Daityas also. तो उनको stop कौन करेगा? So you will find that it is his domain. The domain of Vishnu is only to fight the Daityas. He doesn't do anything besides that. So Daityas means what? When you are in trouble, Vishnu comes into play. So you will find that the Vishnu aspect of in our life is, now suppose we have got into trouble. There is there is a cut in my hand. So it has to be Vishnu's job to heal it. One of the avatars of Vishnu is Dhanvantri. You saw that? So you will find that his job is to rectification. But Shiva is the boss of all the domains, top to toe. और सिर से लेके पैर तक उसका ही domain है. But only in the heart, basic, where I told you, no, Vishnu's domain is over there. The sustainer is in the middle, whereas the destroyer can go from top to bottom. Alright?
गुरुजी, I have a question.
Yes.
ये शिवा मतलब कौन, रुद्र है क्या, या फिर sometimes you say
avatar. See, just now we said one name, no, Dhanvantri we said. Vyas Dev is there, Vyas Muni. These are avatars of the same one, Vishnu. Alright? Got it or no? Like that, Rudra is one of the domain of Shiva. It's one of them. Yeah, they are small aspects of it. Now you will ask me why ऐसा क्यों करता है? सर, तुम्हारे मैसूर में वहाँ पे कि नहीं, मैसूर में समझो या हुगली में, वहाँ पे तुम्हारा ग्राम पंचायत या फिर सॉरी उधर पंचायत नहीं, उधर क्या रहता है, मेयर रहेगा, मेयर, कॉर्पोरेशन. Do you think that Manmohan Singh is going to come from there to ask for tax over there in your house or what? Manmohan Singh will employ his people, isn't it? So representation of Manmohan Singh is the person in your village is different than Manmohan Singh, correct?
Differently empowered.
So to ensure that everywhere proper administration happens, there is a prime minister, there is a chief minister, there is a chief secretary, there is a minister for X and minister for Y and minister for Z. अंडर उसके अंडर असिस्टेंट रहेगा, उसके अंडर ब्यूरोक्रेट्स रहेगा, उसके अंदर come straight down, like say for example collection of taxes comes under finance ministry. So you think Chidambaram is going to come and ask you, Samrat, तुम्हारा ये बरस का tax भरा क्या? Why should he come and ask you? So there are delegates. Delegation is done to the level of the income tax inspector in your area, correct? That person is representing the ministry, correct or no? So in the same way, different domains of Shiva are there. One of them, and they are called Rudra, avatars. Okay? One of them I met once upon a time. His name is called Yamadev. Rama.
Yamadev.
Why you want to meet him? Don't. Dangerous character.
So what do you do?
Guruji, one more thing. You used to tell that you had once told Shiva himself is the divine consciousness करके.
Yes, Shiva is called the divine consciousness. See, what happens is, whether you call him Shiva, whether you call him Vishnu or whatever name it is, it's one and the same. Again, like I told you, na, the government is known by different prime minister, home minister, chief minister, ऐसा अलग-अलग domains है. End of the day, what is it? Government only, isn't it? तुम कोई भी नाम से बुलाओ ना, उसमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Understood?
तो मतलब
क्या?
Then why do we say that he stays in the head बोलते हैं ना? Just now you said that विष्णु का ये heart में है और शिवा का इसमें है. अगर शिवा ही विष्णु है, विष्णु ही शिवा है, तो why are we making the differentiation?
Sir, again I am explaining to you what happens is, suppose there is a ministry of defense, and ministry of home, ministry of finance. Think about it. Why will a home minister or a defense minister want to sit in the some other department? Tell me. तेरे को पढ़ने का है ज्योग्राफी, हाँ, अब तेरे को आके मैथमेटिक्स पढ़ाने वाला आ गया तो कैसा होएगा? प्रॉब्लम आएगा ना. पढ़ने का था एक, पढ़ाने के लिए दूसरा आएगा तो प्रॉब्लम होएगा कि नहीं. In the same way, what is the domain head is important over there. तेरा पैर के जगह पे हाथ रहता था, नाक के जगह पे कान रहता था, तो बहुत तकलीफ होएगा कि नहीं. You will not match, everybody around. Imagine just one eye, one going to New York and one going to Tokyo happens. Then what happens? Everybody is looking at you. बोलेगा ये देख कैसा आदमी है, चकाया. बोलेगा ना. So everything has to be perfectly in place, and they need their space and their time and the place. अभी तो कल जाएगा ना, गुरु ने है कि नहीं, तेरी जगह पे दूसरे किसी को बिठा रहेगा तो तेरी लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगा. बराबर है गुरु? समझ में आया? तो तेरा चेयर इंपॉर्टेंट है तेरे लिए. Got it? So it is very important for that person to work in that domain in exactly in the same place and at the same time. Now, that you see, when we are doing the Bhagavad Gita, we are saying always, everyone has to do their prescribed job in a prescribed manner at a prescribed time. Barabar hai? Now, if you don't do your job in the prescribed manner or in the prescribed time, what use are you there in that place then? Correct? Just imagine कि तुम लोगों का एक प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है और तू है ना 10 दिन के लिए आता नहीं ऑफिस को, वाइफ के साथ गुम हो गया किधर तो भी, सेकंड हनीमून करने को गया, तो प्रॉब्लम आएगा कि नहीं? तो इसीलिए तेरा रजा वजा देने के टाइम पे बड़े बॉस लोगों को बहुत तकलीफ होती है, सोच लेना. क्योंकि एक रिप्लेसमेंट देने के लिए बहुत तकलीफ होती है. सो यू हैव टू परफॉर्म परफेक्टली इन योर प्लेस इन योर टाइम, और वही उसी टाइम पे होना बहुत जरूरी है. नहीं तो वहां पे क्लाइंट पे है ना 12 बजेगा. बराबर है? अंडरस्टैंड? सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, give yourself the importance of being there at the prescribed place and at the prescribed time, doing exactly what you are supposed to do. We have been learning Gita for this, isn't it? And here now we have come into the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna. So it's just the domains, how they differ and all that. So there are the three. That Supreme Brahma is said to be the light of all lights and entirely beyond Maya. That Godhead is knowledge itself, worth knowing, worth attaining through real wisdom, and is particularly abiding in the heart of all. Okay. I remember again what I said to you. I told you, intellect or knowledge is on the right hand side. So this is a place where this entry point is for the Brahma. In this line he is telling you, the Supreme Brahma is said to be the light of all lights, entirely beyond Maya. Maya is the covering of the heart. Covering, ऊपर से जो covering? Yes. The heart is like this and it is covered and covered and covered like that continuously. All these coverings are the veils of Maya. So inside that is this Brahma. The Godhead is knowledge itself. It is pure knowledge. Remember when we were doing this, what is consciousness? What did I say? I know. I understand. I am there. This is what happens or no? Consciousness. These are the words we have used. Do you know you are there? Yes, I know I am there. It's an understanding or acceptance or idea. All this is called knowledge. That which tells you you are there. You means the Supreme Divine Self is there. That is called consciousness. Here he is saying the same thing. This Godhead is about knowledge itself. Worth knowing. You should know it. And worth attaining through real wisdom. it is very important that it is not about intelligence, it is not about knowledge, it is about wisdom. Wisdom means, suppose you have learned your engineering from engineering college, okay, or you are an MIT graduate, alright, और तूने एकदम बड़ा डिग्री लेके आया, नॉलेज है तुम्हारे पास, yes, you have the intelligence because you have got the degree, yes, but what use is it if you don't apply it? The application is important, right or wrong? If you have the knowledge, you got to apply it, yes or no? And this is what he is saying. And this application of the knowledge is called wisdom. Applying it at the right place, at the right time, and at the right moment. Everything has to be perfectly used.
There is no point.
That is wisdom.
You know, right?
See, not everybody can be wise. I can tell you one thing. There may be hundreds of graduates coming out of the institutes from management and so on and so forth. Now, they have done their CET, ABCD and everything, all those fantastic examinations. Or they may be doctors. They have given some fantastic results. They have scored marks in the final examination. But if they are not able to use their knowledge in the day-to-day, dissipation of knowledge is not there, what is the use? Now, application is very important at the right place, at the right time, at the right moment. That is wisdom.
Like people.
So it is worth knowing and worth attaining through real wisdom. What he is trying to say? You can buy heart this book. Okay, you can have 1 GB, 1 TB and 100 TB memory और पता नहीं क्या क्या सब रखो तुम्हारे पास, सब वेदास को ट्रांसलेट करके रखो, लेकिन एप्लीकेशन ही नहीं होएगा तो फायदा क्या? If you are not able to use this knowledge in the material world, what is the use? So this is what he is saying about wisdom. And all this is abiding in the heart. Please understand. I just now explained to you Maya and its conjugas, right? Round, round. That is ignorance, veil of ignorance. So you need to get over it. So the heart of it. So remember, entry into the domain of the Brahma or the Supreme Divine Consciousness is possible through the heart. Thus the truth of the Kshetra and the knowledge as well as the object worth knowing, God has been briefly discussed. Knowing this in reality, my devotee enters into my being. Every time he has said, please enter into my being through your heart. Always he has mentioned these words, enter these through the heart. So now that you have understood what is the meaning of the word Kshetra. Kshetra is the domain, everywhere that is there, availability, jo dikhta hai. And knowledge, just now we use the word knowledge. Application, the application is important. As well as the object worth knowing. What is worth knowing? It is only with intellect can you understand what is worth knowing or not. See, at the final examination, what do? We always say that these questions will come, these questions will come. We make a list of our own 100, most both important questions. What do we say? Most asked questions. And we create their database and then we study them very hard. This is the knowledge which is getting used for your own understanding. That is what is it. That is called the object worth knowing. Now that object worth knowing inside the heart is called the God. So we have briefly discussed about this and this is the reality. So my devotees can enter this being. Remember we started from the heart and how left, right and all that. So you can enter my being. Prakriti and Purusha know both these as the beginningless. We again start at Brahma, Prakriti and Purusha. This is Purusha and this is Prakriti. They are beginningless. There is no such thing as they started somewhere or didn't start somewhere. No way of knowing them. They are all the modification, such as the likes and dislikes. Remember, we use the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas and all the 28 other elements put together plus this, everything put together, we get the likes and then the dislikes. Both these things we get, likes and the dislikes. Both these things come into the picture. And all objects constitute of the three gunas is born of Prakriti. Prakriti with the use of this creates the likes and dislikes. So this is exactly how she works. In this sentence he says, modification like likes and dislikes are objects constituted in the three gunas born of Prakriti. So Prakriti creates this, and from this all these evolutes come out. Prakriti is said to be responsible for bringing forth the evolutes and the instruments, while the individual soul is declared to be the cause of experience of joy and sorrow. Now, five layers. Okay, I'm going to draw only 1, 2, 3. All right. This is the outer layers constituting the body plus
Mind.
plus what do you call it? Prana plus
Mind.
mind. This is the intellectual body, correct? 4. What is the fifth one?
Blissful.
Yeah, this is the body of bliss.
Anandamaya Kosha.
Yeah, inside this, through this, can we enter into this domain which is called the domain of the heart. So where is the experience first happening? In the blissful body alone.
Ananda.
Alright? Here I am just giving an example over here. So Purusha and Prakriti, no, both these are beginningless. No. Prakriti, where are we here? No. Prakriti is said to be responsible for bringing forth the evolutes and the instruments. We did the evolutes and the instruments, while the individual soul is declared to be the cause of experience of joy and sorrow. The individual soul. Remember, we discussed in some one or 2 months ago, I said Jiva and the Jivatma, Paramatma, Atma, Jiva. All this we discussed, these 3 terms we discussed, and I told you the individual Jiva thinks it has an Atma in it. That he calls it the Jivatma. Got it? And this is it. This is how it is. So the experience is also going to be happening here or no? It is separated itself out from this whole picture called the Brahma. Separated from this Parabrahma. It is separate. It says, I am separate than the Parabrahma. I am separate than the Parabrahma. I am separate Atma. That is Paramatma, I am Atma. This is Paramatma, I am Atma. ऐसा करके बोलता है. That is the reason why there is a cause of this joy and sorrow happening. So the joy and sorrow appears to happen because of this Jiva and the Jivatma separation. It believes it is separate than the Paramatma. Believes it is there. The mind and all this, they are not going to leave you. They will tell you that you are separate than God. Only the Purusha in association with Prakriti experiences object of the nature of the 3 gunas evolved from Prakriti. And it is contact with these gunas that is responsible for the birth of the soul in good and evil wounds. Remember, Purusha and Prakriti. I told you Purusha's creation is Prakriti. Prakriti, if you remember the mold and all that yesterday we did, we were doing about the mold and the plastic bottle and all that stuff. Correct, exactly. Now if Purusha is not there, how will these things happen? So here he is saying, only Purusha in association with Prakriti experiences object of the nature of the 3 gunas evolved from Prakriti. Prakriti is all these layers. Okay? Inside that is the Atma, I told you. This is a part of the Paramatma. Remember, this Paramatma and what we call as the Purusha is more or less the same. There is a small difference, but let us consider it as one and the same. Let us think about it like that. Now this Purusha is the one over here which makes this, see, only the Purusha in association with Prakriti experiences object of the nature of the three gunas evolved from Prakriti. It is going to get experience in all these things or no? If I don't have the body, how will I experience it? Think. Because I have the body, I can experience it. But the body will come because of Prakriti. And the Prakriti, only in conjugation with Purusha can I experience this. Otherwise, nothing is going to happen. Okay, I'll give you another simple example. I can take sodium, potassium, hydrogen, oxygen, this, that and all those things, put together and create a human being. Do you think the human being will be alive? No. It's a combination of elements. So there is no soul in it, no Atma in it. It's like a robot, isn't it? Robot. See, the robot doesn't have an Atma or anything in it. It is just moving around, isn't it? Because it is just moving around, all these things are there. Outer body is there. But the inner one is missing, it's not there at all. How will it experience? So if I slap the robot, will it experience that? Not at all. And that is the reason why the Purusha is the one who is the see. Only the Purusha in association with Prakriti experiences objects of the nature of the three gunas evolved from Prakriti. Only when the soul is there, only when Purusha is there, can the experience happen. Understood?
गुरुजी, व्हाट अबाउट क्लोनिंग? जब क्लोनिंग करते हैं तो कैसे उसको कैसे पुरुष देता है?
क्लोनिंग करने का बोलेगा तो क्लोनिंग इज नॉट डन. आई एम नॉट टेकिंग हाइड्रोजन, ऑक्सीजन, सोडियम एंड ऑल दैट एंड पुटिंग इन वन टेस्ट ट्यूब एंड शेकिंग इट. ऐसा तो नहीं कर रहे हैं ना. वो भी बॉडी के अंदर ही होता है. यू गॉट व्हाट आई एम सेइंग? सो we are taking elements from one gene, only splitting it up and then putting it back inside, isn't it? Yes or no?
फिर उसका उस बॉडी का डेस्टिनेशन कुछ तो भी होना चाहिए ना. व्हाट इज आई मीन, उसका डेस्टिनी होना चाहिए, उसका भी कुछ कर्मास होना चाहिए जो क्लोनिंग करके नया बॉडी बनाया हुआ है. तो इट इज नॉट अ नेचुरल.
See, you are mixing up soul with body. See, this Atma cannot be mixed with this. This is physical. Right? And this is not physical. You understood or no? Just now we were talking about animate and inanimate also. Correct? एनिमेट ऑब्जेक्ट्स आर, ये सब जो दिखते हैं वो इनएनिमेट ऑब्जेक्ट बोलेगा तो चेयर, कुर्सी, ये वो ब्लैक बोर्ड सब इनएनिमेट है ना. उसमें भी है कि नहीं जीवा? मतलब उसमें भी आत्मा है ना कि नहीं है? We said no, the whole thing is there. Correct? Right or wrong? This much you understood? It is permeating everything. But this permeation, this separation over here between the Paramatma and the Atma, individuality is actually not there. but it appears because of Jiva. Now Jiva has, if you remember in the previous drawing that I had done, Prakriti with its different evolutes are there. It's using them or no? सत्व रजस तमस ये वो सब मिक्स कर करके वो जीवा बनाया उसने. Jiva can only be Jiva without anything if there is no Atma in it. It will only be like a stone or something like that. It will be lifeless. It will be like your chair or the sofa set which you are sitting on. Lifeless. It is the Paramatma which when it wants to experience, it creates this. Do you get what I am saying? Understood or no? There are stillborn babies. Stillborn, you have heard of stillborn babies? बच्चे पैदा होते हैं बगैर कोई जान के. Correct? The interaction is not there of this. Only the elements have come together.
Experiencer is not.
Elements have come together. You got what I am saying? Stillborn समझते हैं ना? Stillborn बोलेगा तो sometimes a lady delivers a child which has no life in it. ठीक है ना? इसको stillborn बोलते हैं बेबी को. उसमें परमात्मा का वास नहीं है, वास. तो it is a stillborn. What you are asking me is, in cloning what happens? In cloning what has happened is Jiva and the Jivatma. The Atma is something which is not connected to this. The domain of this is मेरे को आने का है तो मैं आएगा. समझे? समझे कि नहीं समझे? If I wish to be there in that place only, I will be there. Otherwise, I won't be there. So the destiny of one clone can never be the same of the second clone. Do you get this point? Understood? No? थोड़ा difficult है. Okay, since you have asked me a technical question, let me answer you from the technical point of view. I'll just run this.
Only appearances will be same.
Okay, I'll just give you an idea. रेलवे का गाड़ी है. अभी ये डब्बा है, इसमें सीट्स रहता है. ये दूसरा डब्बा है, इसमें सीट्स रहता है. करेक्ट है? Now this seat number, you have gone by train, isn't it? You get coach number 12, seat number 5 and 6. These two you have booked. Correct? Now Samrat and his wife is going by coach number 12, seat 5 and 6. Let us say you don't go only. वो सीट तो उधर ही है ना, कि नहीं है? समझ में आया? तो ऐसा है कि the body is like an existing tangible object lying over there. But the one who was comprising was Samrat and his wife. They only don't go. Then what happens?
वो बॉडी वहीं खाली रहेगा.
Exactly the point. Now the thing is, think about this. There is a body and somebody to occupy it. Occupation is to be done by somebody or no? Somebody is occupying it. Huh? So there is an occupier. There is a body and there is an occupier. That means seat number 12/5 is occupied by Samrat. This much is understood? Now tell me something. Who is moving this and moving this?
Paramatma.
Yeah, now you understood. And it has nothing to do with this and nothing to do with this also. It has nothing to do with this, nothing to do with this also. It is there moving this whole thing at one time. Got the answer? So that means the body may not have an occupier. Sometimes the seats are going vacant, empty. Alright? So you can say stillborn babies. Stillborn
वो
babies.
लाइफ वो लाइफलेस बेबीज होते हैं क्या?
Ah, correct. So there is nobody to occupy that. Now, think about this. There is nobody to occupy it, but is it under the domain of the Paramatma or no? Yes. The answer is yes, it is under the domain of Paramatma. So whether it is stillborn, whether the occupier is there or not, is still under the domain of Paramatma. So whether you like it or not, sometimes we come across stillborn babies also. All these stillborn babies and all this comes under the domain of Prakruti. Understood? Do you get this point? That means the railway train and the people, they come under the domain of Prakruti. Understood this much? But who is the one who is putting life in this? Who is moving this whole thing?
Paramatma.
Prakriti with Purusha. This together comprises of the Paramatma. The one who is the mover inside this, experiencer. That means Samrat went and sat in the body. Samrat went and sat in the body. But the body and Samrat both are experiencing it. Yes, Ignay? Why both are separate? Let me tell you. If you cut off your finger, you will say, my finger is bleeding. You don't say Samrat is bleeding. Right or wrong? Correct? No? My foot is hurting, you say. You don't say Samrat is hurting. That means your ear is you can't hear properly. Definitely at the end of the day, it is the occupier. The one who is the occupier is actually getting hurt. Now just think, you go to a seat, okay, in a railway train, and that seat has got a lot of, springs have come out. Can you sit on that? No, you will get into trouble. So sometimes the bodies that we get, have so many defects in it. Yet you have to sit on that seat, sir. There is no other occupation. वही सीट को ऑक्यूपाई करने का, उसके ऊपर ऐसा नेल्स लगा के रखा है, उसमें बैठना होता है. तो इमेजिन लूला लंगड़ा ये वो बॉडी, कोई भी बॉडी एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ता है. नो चॉइस. समझ में आया? And that is the reason why when you occupy the seats in a plane also, just think about it. In the plane you are sitting, okay, and the one behind and he keeps on doing dhanam 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 to you. You know how much it is a disturbance to the body. Forget that. अगर तुम्हारा सीट का ऐसा एक कीड़ा हुआ रहेगा और तुमको बैठना पड़ा तो वो भी तकलीफ है. सोचो. So that means it is not only Samrat who is the occupier, but the person who is sitting next to you can also disturb you. So the seat can be a point of disturbance, and the person sitting next to you can also be a point of disturbance. Now imagine that person keeps on leaning and falling on you continuously. ऐसा fall करता है, ऐसा नींद में ना ऐसा fall कर रहा है. Imagine करो क्या होए. So when we have our own passengers with us, mother, father, brother, sister, wife, husband, children, ये वो सब अपना पैसेंजर लोग है. इमेजिन करना सब ऐसा कोई अरे आया है, गिर रहा है, कोई कुछ खा रहा है, किसी ने खाने के टाइम पे तुम्हारे ऊपर गिरा दिया. इमेजिन करो वो सब, कितना तकलीफ होता है. तो एक बॉडी है, ऑक्यूपायर है, और ऑक्यूपायर के साथ और ऑक्यूपायर है दूसरे, कितना डिस्टर्बेंस है। एंड इमेजिन दैट, ये है ना तुम्हारे 3 सीट्स ऐसे तुमको वेकेंट मिल गए, कितना मजा आता है ना वो 3 सीट को ऐसा ऊपर करके सो जाने को। When you do the long haul flights and if there is nobody next to you, you are the happiest. क्या है, ऐसा लंबा पैर करके सो जाता है। So that is the reason why alone, when you are alone, you don't have disturbances. You can
तो वो
be,
3 सॉरी तो 3 सीट खाली वाला सिनेरियो इजी है सन्यासी बाय एनी चांस? कोई डिस्टरबेंस नहीं है।
yes. So that person can be at peace. See, think about it like that. Or you can be at peace at the place where you are in. I'll tell you what happened when I was flying Sao Paulo to Dubai. Okay, back to India aane ka time. It was a 17-hour flight. I didn't get up from my seat at all. My seat पे से उठा ही नहीं. 17 hours I sat in one place. Next to me was this one fellow who was from the government ministry fellow. He was what do you call that? Diplomat. उसने है ना 6 बाटली पिया, ऐसा करके मेरे साथ बात कर रहा है। मैंने क्या किया, वो कान में वो लगा के मैं बैठ के पिक्चर देख रहा था। So imagine this, you can be alone at one place also if you want to. I was hardly paying attention to anything. And yeah, I shut off everything and I was looking at some nonsense, but I was completely lost. How many times does a person get up to go to the bathroom? I didn't go once also. जाने का क्या है, जाके करेगा क्या उधर? वो जितना बेवड़ा मारेगा उतना बार जाना पड़ता है, मालूम है?
17 hours.
Huh?
17 hours.
17 hours. So you can just go and come back. You can be alone even in that single seat. Please understand. Or you can be alone with all the people around you also. Both applications can be done. But to have the second one, to be alone even with people around you, requires a lot of control over the mind and the body and the senses and everything. It's difficult, but it is possible. So to live in the Prakriti and yet be not part of the Prakriti, you can definitely be that. So those who can live separately out, separation is possible, not that it is not possible. Understood? So I hope you got this stillborn and how this is, all right? But I think that the difficulty arose when you said the cloning happens, right? Now let us try to understand how cloning happens. They take the DNA of both. Separation happens. Now this person may be 45 years old. And this is we have taken a gene from him, splitting it up. And this person is now going to be 0 years old, just getting born. Now tell me something, this person is already this. This person is starting at 0. How can the destiny be one and the same of both?
Time and space.
Time and space. Time and space are different, number one. This is only the part of that, which is nothing but what we say as the Panchabhutas and all. This is a part of Prakriti. This is a part of Prakriti. I told you that the stillborn is there, or the person is occupying the seat. Now, this Prakriti is nothing but elements and all those, including the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, all put together over here. Same thing over here. Now, think about it. The experiencer here and the experiencer, are they different or no? They will be different. Everything, the whole board is the Brahma. The whole board is the Brahma. In the Brahma, there is a Prakriti. In the Brahma, there is a Purusha. Understood? In the Brahma, there is a Prakriti. And in the Brahma, there is a Purusha. Brahma is everywhere. But the experiencer would be different because, okay, this experiencer will get a different experience here, will get a different experience here. Think. I want you to think very carefully. This man, okay, marries one person. Can this man marry the same person? See? So that means what? If this man marries X, that person X also has to undergo this thing, no? Yet it will not be the same. If the husband-wife team undergoes cloning, do you think the experiences of the two will be the same? No way, no way. So naturally, since the experiences are not going to be the same, you will come to this understanding that something else is actually playing an important role. Now, what is that something? So the experiencer differs, and this difference of experience is because of the term called Jeev Atma. The Jeev Atma. There is no Jeev Atma, remember this. Yet, because of the body, the experience is going to happen. Understood? That's why I said, no? If you don't have a body, how will you experience anything? I said these words or no? You know, phantom limbs, do you know anything about phantom limbs? Yesterday I was watching a very beautiful experiment conducted. These are two hands. Okay? So one hand was kept this way, other hand was kept this way, but it was on this side. It was not here, it was on this side. Okay? There was a partition over here. I will draw and show you how it was. And such a wonderful experience. Let me tell you how it was. It was a beautiful experiment conducted by them. Now, how did he do it? There is a person, there is one hand over here. And the other hand is supposed to be here, no? But what this person was told was, you put your hand over here actually. And in between this was one partition. There was one partition over here. Understand what I am saying? One hand here, but the hand was supposed to be kept slightly away like this. And there was one partition put over there. Alright? And over here, they kept a fake hand with fingers. Fake hand with fingers. And they put that fake hand on the shoulder over here. Imagine my hand is here. They put one fake hand over here with the shoulder over here. And you know what they did? They took one brush. Remember, there is a partition over here. And they took one brush, and this person over here, the person who was conducting the experiment, he was stroking the brush over these fingers. When he was stroking over this fake hand, the feeling was getting transmitted over here. And suddenly what he did, he's asking him, can you feel, can you feel, can you feel? And that person says, uh, 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 and then suddenly he puts his hand down, removes one big hammer, and bang, he goes on these fingers. When he goes bang on these fingers, what happens? This fellow, suddenly he does like this. And that is called phantom experience. He has not hit him.
Mind is it.
He has hit these fingers over here. These are fake fingers. And the experience was felt over here. How strange is that? So can you imagine how we are actually, our mind is trained like this. A beautiful presentation was there. Then you will find that like these type of things, multiple things happen in our material world. We do not seem to grasp them. Now that is called an experience. All this is called an experience.
Guruji, there is a book called Phantoms in Our Brain by a neurosurgeon, I think Ramakrishna, I think. So one guy doesn't have a hand, but he still has a right hand pain. He doesn't have a hand at all, but the pain is experienced.
Yes. The experiencing of the pain happens in the mind actually. Now here, the one who is actually called the experiencer is this Purusha. And the one which is now hand is Prakriti. Now remember, the experience happens because of all the elements, etc. Correct? Happens because of that. So who is the one who is experiencing it? So the one who is experiencing it is this Purusha. You got this answer? Understood this much? Can I go ahead? So the good and evil. Only the Purusha in association with Prakriti experiences objects of the nature of the three gunas evolved into Prakriti. If there is no experience of Purusha, then Prakriti cannot understand anything. Got it? And it is the contact with these gunas that is responsible for the birth of the soul in good and evil wombs. Now understand, that's what I said to you. When the Jeev Atma, the Atma, the Paramatma, assumes a form in this, it is actually getting trapped in a Jiva. And there is no trapping, but for understanding we are saying there is a trapping. And that trapping in the Jiva and experiencing it in that as a Jivatma, that separation happens. And these gunas, and it is the contact with these gunas that is responsible for the birth of the soul in good and evil wombs. Now see, good and evil wombs. We have come to this. The seats are going to be there. Bogie number 12, seat number 5 and 6 are always there. So those are evil. मतलब कोई अच्छा सीट है, कोई बुरा सीट है. कोई टॉयलेट का बाजू में सीट मिला तो कितना तकलीफ होता है कि नहीं होता है? तो हम लोग को वही लगता है, हम लोग को कितना गंदा सीट दिया. So this, we get this type of bodies, and the bodies come because of good and evil wombs. Good and evil wombs means what? Suppose you get a body in, let us say, a centipede. सेंटीपीड 100 पैर से चलना पड़ेगा. अभी 2 पैर तो तकलीफ है, वहां 100 पैर से चलना पड़ेगा. सोचो. और अगर काश डालना पड़ा तो 100 पैर को डालना पड़ेगा. So this is what. So there are good and evil things over there. Okay. The spirit dwelling in the body is really the same as the Supreme. So I told you, the whole thing is the Supreme alone. He has been spoken of as the witness, the true guide, the sustainer of all, the experiencer, as the embodied soul, the overlord and the absolute as well. All these, everything put together. I told you, everything put together is the Paramatma. Yes, everything put together is the Paramatma. He is this also, he is this also, and he is this also. Everything is him alone. There is no difference between him and anything else. So sometimes he is the sustainer. Sometimes he is the guide. Remember Narada? Narayana, Narada. I told you, no? Narada is the guide, I told you. Nar is the human being and Narayan is the God. That's the Paramatma. So he can be anything. He can be a witness also. He can stand outside and be a witness. The true guide. He can be like Narada, the true guide. He can be sustainer like Vishnu, the experiencer. As the embodied soul, Jivatma. Jivatma is experiencing everything, right? The overlord, Paramatma. And the absolute as well. That is, Paramatma is also termed as absolute in the name of Brahma. Isn't it? He can be Brahma also, he can be Paramatma also, he can be Vishnu also, he can be anything. He who knows the Purusha, spirit, and Prakriti, nature, together with the Gunas, even though performing his duties in every way, is never born again. So somebody who understands this whole Jin Bang thing, with the experience in it. I told you, without the experience there is no point. I told you, when you go to the Guru and you don't have any experience, what is the point in going over there? If you go to the temple and there is no experience in the temple, what is the point in going to the temple also? So we go to so many temples in our life where we don't visit them again at all, because we never got an experience. So when you get the experience of everything at that point in time, so the Purusha, the spirit and the Prakriti, together with the Gunas, even though performing in duty every way, is never born again. So understanding this and experiencing it along the way, you will never be born again. Alright? So I'll just rub this out. Any questions so far? No questions. Is it very easy or tough? So see, I don't want to pressurize you more. So I think I will stop over here. That's why I asked you. If you have any questions, you can ask me. No problems. Because this may become heavy. Okay. I will recap the whole thing for you. The whole thing is called Brahma. Brahman. Brahma. Alright? The whole thing is called Brahma. So the whole whiteboard is Brahma. Let us assume that. Now the Brahma, which is unmanifest, creates a Purusha, creates a Prakriti, creates evolutes, and along with the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Okay, this much is understood. This is how the down, coming down one step after another, like that it is coming down step by step by step. They in turn create a body. Okay, body contains all these things under the domain of Prakriti. Body can be created. Alright? But the one who is giving all the experiences and all, understanding it, only happens if Purusha is there. Otherwise, there is nothing happening. That is why you will find that a dead man Even if you poke him 100 times also, he is not going to feel it, isn't it? It's only because the Purusha is there that the body can go through experience. So it can be an experiencer. This much understood? It can be an experiencer. So evolutes of the body are formed over here because of Prakriti. But body will only understand it if there is a participation of the Purusha. Without Purusha's participation, nothing is possible. Now, how does the Purusha participate? He participates as an experiencer. He participates as a witness. Okay? He participates as a sustainer. All those terms that we did just now, he can do anything. All this is him alone. Now, when it is there in the body, as if when it is there in the body, he feels that he is the Jivatma. He feels he is Jivatma.
Who feels it? Body.
The experiencer, if it is
Feels.
trapped in the body, trapped,
Because of it.
feels he is the Jivatma. He is a trapped entity.
Okay.
Is limited to the body.
How does it happen? I told you, I drew one heart and I told you, there are various coverings which are called ignorance. Now when ignorance comes into the heart, covering the heart, nothing can be experienced by him. He thinks he is a Jivatma, and then later on he thinks he is only the body. Understood? So all this put together comes under the domain of the Purusha. All this. Alright? And all this is under the domain of the Brahma, which is the supreme unmanifest. Got it? That is the supreme unmanifest. Brahma. Got it?
Guruji, what is there any correlation between Purusha and the mind?
Mind is over here, Baba.
The combination.
But in some context we say that mind is experiencing it, but now you are saying here that Purusha is experiencing it.
Without the Purusha, can you experience anything? If you are a dead body, even if you have a mind, can you experience it?
I don't know.
You don't know, no, forget about it. Suppose I take this and I bang it 10 times. You think it got hurt?
But how do I know that that has mind?
Correct. That is the reason why you have to go inside this fellow to understand the mind. When you become self-realized, Samrat, you can enter anybody's mind also, don't worry. And at that time, you will not want to enter because everybody's mind has a lot of dirt in it. Yeah, it is like a dustbin. So, I'm sure you don't want to enter anybody's mind. In the same way, the mind is just a vessel, yeah. It's just a vessel, like a body, it's a vessel. It can only experience if there is a Purusha in it. That means something is there which is making it experience or no. Got this or no?
So this experience is common in all.
That's what I explained to you, no? The experiencer in the cloned bodies I explained. It takes various births because of getting trapped in this.
Because of the limitation of the body.
Because it is thinking it is a Jivatma, because it is thinking it is a Jiva, it is getting experiences dissimilar in the different bodies. The experiences are going to differ.
Guru, since the experiences are different, right? So how do we all understand the common truth they experienced?
Okay. I'll rub this. There are 3 pots like this. Okay. Everything has a water filled in it. Alright. You know, when they make beer or some other type of wine, wine is basically what?
Grape.
Grapes. Correct, correct, grapes.
Hmm.
ग्रेप्स का जो जूस आता है वो है फर्मेंट करके रखा है उसके लिए, है ना? Suppose I put in this. Suppose I put in this, or suppose if I put in this, will it have different taste or not?
Yeah. Based on the container.
Correct. Sometimes they say that it has got that, you know, cask smell. The casks were burned by this thing, and so they have a particular smell. They have a particular taste, and then they put it in their mouth. ऐसा करके वो लोग tasting करते हैं. And they definitely, even believe me, if they open 2 bottles of the same kind also, they made in the same year also, coming from the same place also, yet the taste will differ. Understood?
Why?
Depending on the container.
No, container is also same, no?
Container is not the same. This is W1, W2 and W3. 3 different containers are there. I take wine from this, I take wine from this, and I take wine from this. All 3 are going to be different. They will taste different. Let us take one piece of cheese you get. Simple example in your own house also. Suppose your wife, your mother and your mother-in-law, all 3 are given the same ingredients, same vessels, and everybody is told to measure quantity. Everything is measured. Okay. Dal is given or some sambar is given, sambar powder, everything is same. If these 3 people make, no, you will get 3 different tastes of the same.
Though the formula may be the same.
So you understood this. This is how it works. The experiencer is different in different bodies. Please understand this again and again. The experiencer is different in different bodies. Though it is coming from the same place. Everything is coming from the same place. It may be coming from the same godown. The water is coming from the same tank. Okay. The salt is coming from the same bag. The sambar powder is coming from the same factory where that one packet only we have taken. And yet the different is, why is the taste so different? That is because this is the difference in the experiencer which comes about. Though everything is in one and the same. So we call it Brahman. Everything is Brahma. But ingredients, these 3 parts are made from 3 different things. Wood या पता नहीं कुछ करके वो लोग बनाया है. Body, अपना body. Okay. Yet, the one that is inside this is not going to be the same as inside this, is not going to be the same as inside this. Only the realized person knows that all this is one. He knows all this is one. If he understands all this is one alone, do you think he will make a differentiation? He doesn't make a differentiation. He is not saying कि ये ना ये वाइन अच्छा है, वो बुरा है, वो अच्छा है, ये ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं बोलेगा. इसीलिए the likes and the dislikes are not there in that person. I want this or I want that is also not there because he knows everything is one and the same. What you said?
Samabha.
Yeah. He is the knower of Brahma. Why will he bother whether he is drinking from W1, W2 or W3? And whether he is not drinking also doesn't make a difference. Understood? So we have to cross all this and go there. Your answer is this. You have to cross all this and go there. Even though everybody has the same ingredient in him, yet because of the body, the differences are felt. The differences are felt. And because of the mind, we create karmas. And because of the karmas, we get transferred from W1 to W2 to W3 to W4. Like that, we keep on coming back again and again and again and again. And the cycle goes on for us. Whereas the one who has understood this, he doesn't give a damn whether he's become a grape also. That is how he feels like. It doesn't make a difference to him. No difference at all. Got it?
Yeah.
Next time when you go to Italy or all those places in the, or even in your country, where in the United States, there is a Napa Valley. Have you heard of that? NAPA.
Yeah, it's in California.
Yes, we go to Napa Valley and there
Wine
are lots
tasting.
of these wineries, vineyards over there. You can take a trip. Some weekend trip they will organize and go to different vineyards and they will give you tasting. They have cheese and they have wine, and you can do the tasting of both these things. Think about it. It has come from the same cask, by the way. Cask means a dabba, which is container. It's come from the same cask, different year or something like that. Thoda sa difference bhi rahe. And if you are a true connoisseur of these, you will find that the taste itself will differ. Think about it. The cheese is made from same ingredient or no? Cheese is coming from milk, cow's milk. Think about it. The same cow's milk made in different places tastes different. And so they have the matching of the cheese to the wine. कैलिफोर्निया में अभी सम्राट तेरा अगर कैलिफोर्निया में ट्रांसफर हो गया तो तू जाके उधर टेस्टिंग कर सकता है या फिर ब्रिटो और सेंथिल तुम लोग कभी कैलिफोर्निया पहुंच गए ना उधर नेपा वैली में जाके एक थोड़ा सा ये क्या टूर मार के आ सकता है so like that the difference is there and that little difference experiences changes. Got it? So any more questions? No?
When you go to a temple and there is no experience, does it mean the experiencer is not there in the body?
Now, Padma has asked one question. Okay. Now there is one image of a god over there in some temple. Now what happens is different churches are there where the crosses with the image of Jesus is there. Why is it that you get some sort of an experience in this place but not in this place and not in this place also? Why does it happen? In this place and in this place there are no experiences, but in this place the experience is there. Have you felt this sometime or no? You will find that some place you go to, some temples or some places or some people, let us say there are 2-3 people you meet. With one person you get a good vibes, with another one you don't get good vibes. The third one you don't have, neutral you are.
They don't belong to our domain.
No, suno na. No, they all belong to www.KrsnaKnows.com. Same domain. Why does this happen? The reason why this happens is because this is what we got in this place. Right? In this place there is no experience, and in this place there is no experience. The Prakriti existed everywhere or no? Yes, the Prakriti existed everywhere. The same elements are there here, the same elements are there here, and the same elements are there here. Correct? All places the elements are one and the same, more or less. So who is the one who makes the difference? The experiencer makes the difference. Who is the one who makes the difference? The experiencer makes the difference. The one who is inside of you. The one who is inside of you can make a difference. Because remember, it is the experiencer who with this body has the likes and dislikes in you. Remember this line? There is a line which we did just now. It's the experiencer with the body has the likes and the dislikes in you. You want me to go to the line again?
Depend on his tendencies.
Prakriti and Purusha, number 19. Both these are beginningless, and know all modifications such as likes and dislikes, etc., and all objects constituting of the three gunas as born of Prakriti. Both these put together, they are born. The likes and the dislikes are born. So when with the elements put together, so it is you, Y-O-U, and the body and the experiencer who have together created the likes and the dislikes. And because of these likes and the dislikes, what are these called? Ignorance. All these are called ignorance, isn't it? And because of this ignorance, you get feelings over here and not over here and not over here. Understood? It is because of you. Now let us say, for example, you have reached the state of the self. Where is the question of all this? So the experience will be same here, will be same here, and will be same here. Isn't it? There is nothing there. So the difference...
There's no difference between one place and the other.
Correct. Like I said, there are no likes or dislikes. There is no hot or cold.
Every place is alike.
No, there is no like also.
No, alike. Every place.
Every place is alike.
One space is alike.
Correct. So that person will have absolutely no such thing. But remember, because of the body, the blood is going to come if it cuts. Yes or no? Okay. The eye will have its own problem. Everything is going to have its own problem because of this Prakriti's evolutes. But no experience. Understood? Alright? Any more questions? I know today is very heavy, but I've tried my level best to make you understand. Alright? So we can...
But the divinity is everywhere, no?
Yeah, divinity is everywhere. divinity is called Paramatma. But you can make him Jesus or you can make him Vishnu also. That is your mind which can make it. And your body and your abilities, all this is going to make it. But for a divine person, do you think this will have a difference or this will have a difference? No difference at all. Understood? So this person, divinity is everywhere, is one and the same. But do you experience one and the same? No. That is because of these likes and dislikes that have appeared in you. Alright. So we will take a break and you can have a very good evening or a good day or a good morning.